This is Valley News Live at noon.
We start with breaking news this afternoon. A South Fargo neighborhood on high alert after the SWAT team rolls in this morning. Neighbors tell Valley News Live several agencies were on scene and 2 loud bangs were heard. This is the video shared with us from a viewer. It's in the area of 20th Street and 52nd Avenue South. We have a message in to Fargo Police for more information on what exactly happened. Check the VNL News app for updates throughout the day. The student who was arrested after allegedly sending threatening emails to the Barnesville School District is no longer in custody. That's according to Superintendent John Ellerbush. Those threats sent the school into lockdown yesterday. The school is operating as normal today with an increased police presence. Details are not being shared about the suspect because they are a minor. Valley News Live has received several calls from teachers in the Barnesville School District concerned about the way this threat was handled, lack of training and poor communication in such a serious situation. We brought those concerns to the superintendent and will have his response tonight on Valley News Live. Although the threat in Barnesville was legitimate, several schools across the valley got active shooter hoax calls yesterday. That includes Fargo, West Fargo, Grand Forks, Jamestown, and Bismarck. North Dakota schools are not required to report these kinds of threats to the state office, police, or even families. Each district has its own policy. Educators we spoke with say they are pleased with how everything was handled yesterday. Flakes were flying across the valley this morning. The wet weather coupled with the wind is making for a brisk day out there. Let's get right over to meteorologist Lisa Green.
Well, good morning. Yes, we've been dealing with snow. Some of us had accumulations that are still on the ground in some areas. And here's a look at some of the reports that have been coming in. Both of these 2 top reports of 3 inches coming from around the Red Lake area, downwind of the lake, south and east. Ross, Minnesota, that's in Roseau County, 3 inches of snow. Westbury in Becker County, just under 2 inches. And in the Carlstadt area, 1 inch of snow. And I know we've had a lot of other areas seeing it. If you've got a report to pass along, let us know. Head over to our Facebook page and share that with us there. Here's a look at one of the many photos you've been sharing too. This is from the deck of Helen Perry, and she's showing the lawn furniture collecting a decent amount of snow there. This is in the Lake Itasca area in Minnesota, and she said that she's not getting rid of that lawn furniture just yet, and it will be melting here coming up in the forecast. A look at your radar and satellite map. Looking a lot quieter. There are no large areas of snow sweeping through, but there are these little pockets. So you may have a moment where it's quiet, and then the next you get a sweeping snow shower passing through. It clears, and then another one. And in some instances, we might see a little bit of rain in there as well as we're watching our temperatures rise, and some of the snow is trying to mix over to more liquid precipitation. We've had that snow in Fargo, and right now there's some drops on our camera and shakes on that camera too, as the wind has been on the stronger side. We're looking at temperatures ranging from some mid-30s to around 40 degrees, so those temperatures are climbing and we're above freezing, with snow being reported in Bemidji, rain being reported in Devil's Lake. And a look at our hour-by-hour planner, temperatures only rising into the 40s today. We'll see our chances for precipitation start to ease up for the daytime. Doesn't mean it's completely done yet, and we're going to talk more about that coming up in your forecast, what to expect for your Friday night and heading into your weekend.
All right, thanks, Lisa. A 15-year-old boy suspected of killing 5 people is hospitalized in critical condition. The shooting happened along a walking trail in a residential area of Raleigh, North Carolina. As Elise Preston reports, the suspect was on the run for hours before he was cornered by police in a home and arrested.
Raleigh police raced through these residential streets around sunset Thursday, responding to reports of an active shooter.
I got touch the woods.
Cell phone video appears to show law enforcement searching the area for the suspect. 5 people were shot and killed, including an off-duty police officer.
The deceased have been identified as Nicole Connors, 52 years old, Susan Carnitz, 49, Mary Marshall, 35, Raleigh police officer Gabriel Torres, 29 years old, and a 16-year-old white male.
Then some 4 hours after the first reports of gunfire, police confirmed the juvenile had been taken into custody. The suspect had been contained at a residence.
Today we're sad, we're angry, and we want to know the answers to all the questions.
And it's not just in Raleigh. Across the nation, 7 officers have been wounded and 5 killed by gunfire so far this week. This year, 55 law enforcement officers have been killed, compared to 62 in all of last year. Among those killed this week, Connecticut officers Dustin DeMonte and Alex Hamzy. They were apparently ambushed Wednesday after a false 911 call. A third officer, Alec Urato, was injured, but was released from the hospital to Applause Thursday morning. Back in Raleigh, a call for change.
We have doubled our determination now to end senseless gun violence. We have to do something.
Elise Preston, CBS News, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Among the 2 injured, a Raleigh police canine officer who was released from the hospital Thursday night. One person has serious injuries after being hit by a vehicle in Grand Forks. Police were called to Demers Avenue and 3rd Street around 11 last night. The vehicle was driving west on Demers and the pedestrian was crossing Demers to the north when he was hit. Both the pedestrian and driver were on scene when officers arrived. Police say the man sustained serious injuries and was taken from the scene by ambulance. No citations have been issued. Fargo City Commissioners Arlette Preston and John Strand are trying to strip fellow Commissioner Dave Pepcorn of his role as deputy mayor. The move comes after Pepcorn's speech at the last commission meeting, which many people complain was racist against Native Americans. Preston and Strand say derogatory and abusive treatment should not be tolerated. Their recommendation will be considered at Monday's City Commission meeting. The annual Boo at the Zoo event is happening tomorrow at the Red River Zoo. The community is invited to dress up in costumes and trick-or-treat amongst the zoo animals. There will be vendors with candy and all proceeds support the zoo. Tickets are on sale online or at the door. Boo at the Zoo is every Saturday until October 29th. Coming up at noon, whether it's electric or natural gas, it's going to cost more to stay warm in this winter. We have some tips that can help. But next, we have your weather to plan your day.